of the Embracing Joy podcast. We have a very, very special guest for you all today and a very important topic, which is knowing your worth and mastering negotiation. We have Dr. Gloria here. Please tell us your full name, Dr. Gloria.
My full name is Gloria Esoimeme.
Okay. Yes. So Dr. Gloria Esoimeme is here, and she is an expert on negotiation. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about her because she has a fascinating resume and she has so many skills that she can share with you all today. And you're getting a snippet free of what she shares with her clients and what she's used to get success in her career. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Gloria Esoimeme. So she's a distinguished internal medicine physician. She has a master's in global health and a PhD. So not only does she have an MD, she also has a PhD in health services policy and management. She has a deep commitment to patient care, and she specializes in managing chronic diseases. And she also conducts research on the physician patient relationship so that she can enhance healthcare outcomes. And outside of medicine, so that's already a lot. She's already two doctors, right? MD and PhD. And she also works outside of medicine as a keynote speaker and coach, and she empowers professional women to negotiate their salaries, improve their work conditions, gain recognition, and achieve work life balance. And through her expertise, she equips women with the tools to advocate for their worth and thrive in their careers. So it's just a pleasure having you on today. So, this is such an important topic, and we have an esteemed guest with us today. So, please write all of your questions in the comments. If you're joining us live, please share this video with a friend who also may need some negotiation tips. So I just wanted to welcome you again, Dr. Gloria, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your journey. So, from the medicine, internal medicine and global health to also coaching and being an advocate for women, what inspired you to extend beyond that patient physician relationship to start helping women with negotiation? What was your inspiration to do that?
I think so. If we want to look at the inspiration, maybe we need to take a few steps beyond the internal medicine because the internal
Okay.
medicine it's the most recent part of my career path. So I'm
Okay.
Nigerian. I was born in Nigeria, grew up in Nigeria, did my med school in Nigeria, and then I moved to the US. I came to the US with this great goal. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a master's, get a PhD, and then I'll do my residency.
Mhm.
But it was mainly the master's and the PhD that I wanted because at that time, just I love being a doctor. I truly
Mhm.
do. I find joy in caring for my patients. It's to me, it's one of my greatest honors in life. But I growing up, I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be
Mhm.
an advocate. So I think when when I was in med school, I felt like I didn't have that agency to really be an advocate on a larger scale. So I
Mhm.
thought, okay, global health, that might be it. And it was interesting. I'm like, okay, if I'm going to just do public health, I might as well do it to the highest level. So when I left Nigeria, I said, okay, I was going to do that. And then I
Mhm.
did that. And I'm like, okay, I need to go full circle. Then I did my residency in internal medicine. And I was able to just going through that journey of coming to the US, a country where I had family here, but I was living by myself, learning the ropes myself.
Mhm.
And as I was learning the ropes, I could see people struggle in areas where I thrived,
Mm.
and then I came with $250. That's what I came to the US with.
Wow. Mhm.
And then when I was done, when I was done with my residency, I didn't have any student loans. I was done with like any debts. Before residency, actually, I was done with any debts that I had. So
Mm.
and it was not, I was lucky, or I'm a Christian, so I'll say God was good to me. Um,
Mhm.
but it was directions. It wasn't just like, manna fell from heaven, but it was strategies I used and I was favored and I was able to accomplish the things that I accomplished. And I'm like, if I could do that for myself, then I can help people do that. Like where I work now, I work 3 days a week and it's
Mhm.
full time. I get my full salary, I get my RVU bonus, and I enjoy my job, truly enjoy where I work. I like my employers, I like my patients. I'm happy. So that's something that it's something that I think every physician, every female physician can enjoy. It may
Mhm.
come in different forms. It may not be exactly the match of what I have because what I want may not be what the other person wants. So,
Mhm.
however, we can thrive to get that life that we truly deserve and desire.
Wow. Wow. Such an amazing accomplishment to come from, this is not even your home country, but to come with limited, means, $250, and then finish residency with zero debt and be able to get into a practice that you love. That is just a unicorn story. We don't hear that too many from physicians. We don't hear that type of story from physicians, especially physicians in the US. Partly because I think, did you do medical school with in the US as well? Because I think that's where a majority of physicians get the debt, right?
Yes,
Is that
yes.
medical school?
School. And then, but my master's was, I went to Boston University. A semester was like 20 something $1,000.
Right. Yeah. Right, right. So I definitely understand that, but it's still a phenomenal story of perseverance and resilience. And then you didn't just persevere through those challenges, but you were able to thrive and now also help other physicians do the same. So quite remarkable. So, in that time, you learned some key skills. Of course, you also had favor, but you also learned some key skills that you're able to also transfer to other people to help them succeed in their negotiation skills, right?
Yeah.
So, what would you say is the biggest mistake that majority of women make when it comes to negotiating? Or, yeah, what do you think is one of the biggest mistakes that most women may make when it comes to negotiating?
One of the biggest mistake it comes from, it's not the it stems from fear.
Mhm,
Most people are scared of asking,
mhm,
and that fear comes from you not knowing your worth.
mhm,
So if you know what you bring to the table and you know the value you add, then it's
mhm,
easier for you to ask for what you deserve. And also, that's one mistake. And another mistake, so it's two-sided. Another mistake comes from not serving.
mm, mhm,
So
mhm,
so if you serve, so if you know your value, so okay, I know my value, I'm an internal medicine physician, I can, whatever you bring in front of me, I can take care of it. And if I can't take care of it, I know who to send this patient to, so this
mhm,
patient will not leave me without an answer. I
mm,
like people, so I would give them great customer service.
mhm,
If you set realistic goals for me, my goal will be to exceed them. My
mhm,
goal for my employer is to make money for you. It's not for me to
mhm,
be lazy. So those are things that if you have inherent, you know that about yourself.
mhm,
Sometimes you accomplish them, sometimes you don't, but you know that's who you truly are in the core of your being. Then it makes it easier. Then it takes away that fear. But some
mhm,
people have all of that and more, but that fear is still there. So one
mhm,
is knowing your value. Number two is be ready to serve, and then break down that barrier of fear. Just ask.
mhm. Wow. Yeah, I think that's so important. A lot of us, even once you've gotten, I think some people watching may be in different fields. They may not be physicians, they may be in other technical careers or any, other high achieving professionals. And that knowing your worth, it's not marked just by the degree, right? So you become an MD, you graduate and you say, "Hey, I'm a doctor," right? Does that equate to knowing your worth, that you have a certificate, you have these things, but it's not
Mhm.
enough, right? You
Yeah,
have to
but
know.
sometimes being a doctor becomes the most restrictive thing in your life because
Mm,
you're in a box, right? All right, I spent how many years training, and this is the only thing I know how to do. If
mm,
I lose my stethoscope, I can't do anything anymore. So it becomes restrictive. So this message is much more, it's for doctors, it's for all professionals.
mhm,
So it's not just medicine. Whatever skill you have, we have soft skills and we have, like, our technical skills.
mhm,
So you have that, you master that to the best. You don't have to know everything. I don't know everything in my textbook, but
mhm,
if you master the ones you can master, the common things, you know those very well. And
Mhm.
then you develop your soft skills, you know, and those are the skills that would even take you further than the person who knows, everything in the books, but they don't have those soft skills.
Mhm.
So the art of negotiation, the art of knowing your worth, which is the basics of negotiation, it starts with you knowing your soft skills and then also knowing your technical skills.
Mhm. And I think what I'm also hearing kind of under the current of what we're talking about is also you have to know what's unique about you, right? Compared to the other
For sure,
candidates.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
And sometimes, our disadvantages may be our strength.
Mm, mhm,
Okay, I'll give you, for example, I'm Nigerian.
mhm,
You can't come to my clinic and say you don't know the Nigerian doctor. Like, oh, I speak different, so you
mm,
know me, right?
mhm, mhm,
I'm female, so if I work in an environment where they are mainly male, I'm not denying the fact that being female comes with its disadvantages or whatever, but I would look for the strength in being female. I'm not gonna look for the weaknesses. Those are there. We don't have to find them. It just stares you in the face. But I'll
mhm,
look for the strength in being female and I'll
mhm.
leverage it. So we have so many strengths. Like I can name so many, some that
Mhm,
you would not even think it's a strength.
mhm.
You
Give us
know,
an example of 2 that you would say just as a
I'll use you as an example. So
okay.
you have a baby, you just had a baby, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
you could say, "Oh my, I have a baby. I can't really get a job right now because
mhm,
of XYZ. How I just want my child to be comfortable, and if I
mhm,
get to work, but when you are interviewing, when you interview, you
mhm,
can say, "Look, my child is here. I have a child. I'm going to
mhm,
be here for the long haul. I want my child to have these friends. My child is going to go to this daycare and then grow with these people. So I plan on being here." Like where
mm,
I work, that's a big issue. Our
mhm,
attrition rate is really high because it's rural, so people don't stay for long. So
mhm,
that's something you can leverage. You can say, "Look, I have a child. I'll be here for long. I want my child. They are kids that were born together. I want them
mhm,
all to grow up together." So that's
mhm,
something you can leverage.
mhm.
Something I can leverage that I it's just something it's I don't bring that out when I negotiate, but it just helps me.
Okay.
I'm from a large family.
Mm, mhm,
So I have six siblings. I have
mhm,
four older sisters, I have a younger sister, and I have a younger brother.
mhm,
So when there's nothing special about your birth, then you know how to navigate just so you can get the things that you need to get. Okay, so if I need to get this, who's going to talk to daddy on my behalf? Or am I
mhm,
the one who's going to go talk to daddy? Or am I the one who's going to, because I'm not like the first girl, I'm not the last child. So, okay, so if I want to accomplish this, who's going to be an ally? Which of all my sisters will do this with me? And then when I start to, because when I was younger, like my immediate older sister, I used to just like run my mouth and she would beat the hell out of me. So I learned how to say, okay, so what can I say when we're just by ourselves? Or what can I say when our older sister is there who would come to my defense? So you
Mhm,
learn how to you observe the environment,
mhm,
learn how to survive. You
mhm,
know how so that's a skill, and sometimes people don't realize that it's a skill.
mhm. Yeah, so these skills come from childhood, right? So it made me think of me as I was the youngest of 5. So my siblings knew if they wanted something, ask me to ask daddy because he would he's more likely to listen to me because I was the I was the baby. So
Correct.
even though I would be very shy to ask because I didn't want to hear no. Of course, no one wants to hear
You
no.
know.
They would be like, "Oh, you ask Magda because you're the youngest." He's gonna say, "Okay."
Yes, right. And so your siblings were leveraging the situation.
The So so, yes, those skills start you have those skills, some of those skills, but it's good to speak with someone like you to leverage it and to help you find what's unique in order to master that art of negotiation, so
Right, right.
yeah,
It's just to know that you have it and then use it. It's like you
right.
having tools in your bag and you're just going through life. You don't know you have all of these tools that you can pull out and use when life becomes challenging. So you have them. We all have them.
Mhm. Wow. So, with that being said, we're going to transition into, so with the negotiation, it can help. achieve this work life balance, right? So, work life balance is something that we hear about, but it's elusive. So, it's hard to find for a lot of physicians and a lot of people in high achieving professionals or people that are in jobs that pay relatively well. They usually have a difficult time finding balance. With that being said, what do you recommend as some type of strategy to achieve work life balance? Is it the negotiation ahead of time that achieves the work life balance, or is it something they do once they're already set and they have not negotiated, so they're kind of stuck? Do they have to leave their current job to find the balance? Like, what type of strategy would you recommend for someone to?
Yeah, all the things you said, all of the above.
Mhm.
However, the first thing you need to do is define what work life balance means to you.
Right.
My work life balance is not your work life balance. Some
Mhm.
people, they can work and still be balanced.
Yes. Yeah, we know those people, they can work, 80 hours, things.
And they still have relative. It's all relative. So you first
Mhm.
have to define what work life balance is for you. So for me, I know I love to travel.
Mm,
So
mhm,
I would travel for like, there's any reason, oh, I'm traveling. I love to
mhm,
travel. So for me, work-life balance is me being able to work, like enjoy my job. So I'm doing what I love. And then I can still travel as often
mhm,
as I want.
mm,
That's
mhm,
my work life balance. For
mhm,
some people, it would be being able to spend time with their families. Like you want to come
mhm,
back home, sit down with your spouse, enjoy
mhm,
your kids, and just have good times in the evening. That could be your work life balance. For some
mhm,
people, it's like, you know what? The week doesn't really count. You know, the kids, they go to school, everybody comes back, you do your homework, and then you go to bed. It's the weekends. I want my
mhm,
weekends. So,
mhm,
so first of all, you have to define what's important to you. What's your work life balance? What would make you feel balanced? And then
mhm,
you can now decide, how do I go about achieving my work life balance?
mhm. Yeah. That's so important, taking that time. I think a lot of us and a lot of people watching may not know or feel that they can take that time to think about what is my ideal situation? What would work-life balance be for me? What's my non-negotiable as far as spending time with my family or being able to go to my kid's soccer game? What is that for you? And then trying to see how your work can fit around it or help you to accomplish that.
But it's still okay, right? You see, because we're learning. Sometimes
Right.
you think, at some point you think this is important. Then you try it, you're like, no, that's not important to
Never.
me. And that's still fine.
Mhm.
Because every day we're evolving. So right now, my love is travel. In 5 years, that might not be my work-life balance anymore.
Mhm.
So it
Mhm.
changes over time. But then, and I think people should give themselves grace in the process
Mhm.
of finding that balance or finding out what's important to them.
But a lot of jobs, I mean, this is just in maybe it's fear speaking, but most people may say that your position may not allow you to move and change that way that you want to. You don't know if that's the case, but there's a fear that if my priorities change, maybe my company or my job may not,
Allow
they
me to enjoy
allow
the
me to change. Yeah, it might allow me to adjust my priority.
so
Yeah.
there was a book I was reading, and it was talking
Mhm.
about women and how it's the book is called Know Your Worth. Uh,
Mhm.
so it was talking about how women, from when they're from just when I think maybe just when the ovaries just form, we just our brains just kind of work in a certain way that
Mhm.
even when you're not married, you're already making adjustments for when I get married. Even when you don't
Mm.
have kids, you're making adjustments for when I don't have kids. Well, why not just live your life? And when that
Mm.
comes, then you tackle that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
right now, why don't you just get that work-life balance? Get it for
Mhm.
today. And then when tomorrow comes, then you address tomorrow. That's
Right.
it's too much to kind of want to project your
But
work-life balance for the
10
next.
years in the future, 20 years in the future. I mean, and that's common for us is thinking about, wait, what's the worst case scenario 10 years from now, right? So,
There's so many twists and turns. I'm not saying I'm all up for like planning ahead, but when
mhm,
it comes to, I think it's good to have like big vision, like okay, this is where, but like the nitty gritty of how to then it just becomes overwhelming for
Mhm.
me. Some people are good.
I
I'm
think
not saying
it
it's
gets
wrong, but just
overwhelming. Yeah, I agree. I think it gets overwhelming for anyone because we're not meant to see so far in advance because we don't know what may happen, right? So something may happen like a pandemic, right? We couldn't predict that. So
no.
things may happen in the future that you may not be able to predict. So what you can predict is your current, so being present focused and knowing your goals in this present time period, maybe in the next 1, 2, 3 years, not thinking 10 years, 20 years, and just seeing how it goes with that. Of course, paying attention to retirement, but in a
You
way that
you have a big picture. You define, okay, what's important to me now? What would give me balance right now? And you
Mhm,
strive for that. And when
mhm,
life changes, then it's a good skill to know how to flex and then just move with that change.
I love that. And being able to pivot and do that is so important.
Yeah.
So I think this was a great discussion. I just realized our game, the warm up game.
We can play
The
the
warm-up
game.
game. It's a wrap-up game. It's a wrap-up game today. So this was a great discussion. It's so important. So we learned a lot today. So one was to know your worth, right? And know your worth, know your skills. Use your negotiation skills without fear and know what you want, right? Know what your work life balance is for you. I think those are the three main things that I got out of this. Please write in the comments what you've got out of this and please share this with a friend. We're going to do our wrap up game, which is a game called Convergence, where you'll say the first thing on your mind and I'll say the first word. It's the first word on your mind, but we're going to count to three and then we try to say at the same time and we see if we can get to the same word. Ready?
So
Okay.
who goes? So we can't.
On the count of three, we say it at the same time, relatively same time. Ready?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Three, two, one.
Negotiate.
Vacation. Ah, did you say vacation?
Negotiate.
Negotiation.
You're gonna rep my topic.
Vacation negotiation. Okay. So now we have to say something that connects the two together. So vacation and negotiation. Okay. So something that connects those two words together, like say, Mm, okay. Like something that, so like anything that connects those two words together. You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Three, two, one. Beach.
Money.
That's it. Money and beach. Okay. So now something that connects money and beach together.
Are we gonna come to an end?
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to. We will. Okay. Money and beach. I got it. Ready?
You have?
Almost.
I don't think I have anything in mind.
Look in my eyes. Look in my eyes.
I was really looking.
I know. You ready? Okay. Anything that comes, the first word that comes to your mind.
I just said
Right?
whatever comes to my
Okay.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah. Three, two, one. Resort.
Sleep. I
Resort
said
and
sleep.
sleep. Okay. Sleep. Okay. Okay. Sleep and resort. The first word that comes to your mind with that connects those two together.
There's no word anymore.
I know. No, this has to be one. Sleep and resort. Okay. I got one. It's a simple one. Ready?
Can you just say what it is?
Let's try. This will be our last one, and it will just go with it. Ready? Okay. Three,
Wait,
two.
so it's sleep and resort.
Sleep and resort. Something that connects those two together. It could be anything. Something simple. Just the first
Okay.
word that comes to your mind.
All right.
All right. Three, two, one.
Hotel.
Bed.
I was gonna say bed. I was gonna say bed. I was this close.
We're gonna count it because I think that was on their mind first. We were almost
It
there. So
was. It was on my mind. I was like bed. I was like no.
yeah, so this is a fun game just to warm us up, get loose, and to, see if we can read each other's minds, which we were very close. We almost did.
We almost
So,
have
with
it.
that being said, let's do our wrap up questions.
Okay.
So, Who would you say is a model for joy in your life?
I would say one of my sisters.
Mhm,
She's a really, most of my sisters are happy.
mhm,
So, but my immediate older sister,
mhm,
yeah, she wins this one. She's a really happy person.
mhm. And then if you were baking a cake of joy, so hypothetical cake, right? What were your top three ingredients in the cake?
I think the top one would be forgiveness. And
Mm,
that's not just people. Forgive
mhm,
yourself for your
mhm,
shortcomings. Forgive yourself for being human. Forgive
mhm,
yourself for making mistakes. Just forgive yourself and just let go. You don't have to hold
mhm,
on to your mistakes. And then
mhm,
forgive people. Just forgive and
mhm,
let go. So forgiveness would be number one.
mhm,
And then number two would be lack of competition, where you're not
mhm,
competing with anybody. I'm not trying to be better than Magda. I'm not trying to be better than my older sister or my
mhm,
younger sister. I'm just running my race. However,
mhm,
I'm inspired by you. I'm
mhm,
inspired by you. So I would learn from you. I would ask you, hey, Magda, how do you do a live stream? I've never done one before. And then
mhm,
you tell me, my goal is not like, oh, I want to do it better than Magda. No, I
mhm,
want to do the best way that I can. So
mhm,
it's just not competing.
mhm. That's so important. The forgiveness and the competition. So, what about the third layer of your
I would
cake?
say that is being content,
Mhm,
just having that contentment and saying, and it comes in different ways. Contentment
mhm,
could come from being, I'm good enough.
mhm,
I deserve. Contentment could be, I have enough. I want
mhm,
more, but I have enough for now. Or I
mhm,
have what it takes to get what I want. Just being content. I think that's the third one.
mhm. I love those. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure having you on this episode today. We learned so much about negotiation, about knowing your worth, and about maintaining your joy while you're doing these negotiations. So please like this episode, subscribe to the channel to hear the latest episodes, and please share this episode with a friend. You can also look out for Dr. Gloria if you want to work directly with her. Where can they find you if they would like to work with you, Doctor?
So you can search for me on any of the social media platforms, but I think I'm more on LinkedIn. So if you
Okay.
go on LinkedIn, you'll find me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you again, Dr. Gloria. And this is the Embracing Joy podcast for high achieving professionals, where we help you embrace more joy in your personal and professional life. Please like, subscribe, and share this episode with a friend. Join the newsletter and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.